This time last year, the coastal town of Whakatane was responding to a natural disaster. 50 kilometres off the coast, New Zealand's most active volcano, Whakaari, had erupted, spilling ash, noxious gases and acidic sludge. There were 47 people on the island, 22 of them died. Others were seriously injured. Today, they were remembered at services in Whakatane, from where Charlotte Cook reports.
As morning broke on the first anniversary of the Whakaari eruption, about 100 mourners gathered at dawn to remember the victims. Quiet, except for the hum of crashing waves. Ngāti Awa Kaumātua led an emotional waiata in karakia. Those gathered faced out towards the ocean, as if to address the volcano itself. People in the crowd hug and comfort each other. Among them, Kelsey Waghorn and Jake Milbank, the two tour guides who were terribly burnt in the eruption but lived to tell the tale. The body of their colleague, Hayden Marshall Inman, has never been found. Many of the community are still reeling his loss. Mick Gooden, a friend of the family, says when he sees the photo of Hayden hanging in the fishing club, it's painful.
Like as you walk through the club here, there's a photo of Hayden in this club rooms here now, and you see that, you get a bit emotional. Yeah, pretty raw time, eh?
Mick Gooden took Hayden's father out fishing when the rahui was lifted. He says Hayden put a huge fish on the end of the rod for his father.
I took Hayden's dad out the first opportunity we could, and he actually got a tuna for himself, the first one he's ever caught, so that was 57 kilos. So, yeah, that was a pretty emotional time. The next, was on the 1st of January, so yeah, that's about the only bright spot of goodness that came out of all this.
He says it was the biggest tuna catch of the year. Hayden's mother, Avie Woods, says everyone now knows who Hayden is. She wanted to talk about her own grief.
What do you say when you lose a son and you break down on the beach, calling out his name, sobbing, and a stranger comes up behind you, puts their arms around you, whilst you cry, you wail, you sob, call out his name. That was a day just after Hayden had died. To this day, I do not know who that lady was on the beach.
She says she's privileged to be close to him. At the beach, they can feel connected. Hayden's brother, Mark Inman, says if he was still here, he'd tell him they're doing the good he used to.
I guess I just say that we're here, trying to do the good that he used to do. So, yeah, that we're here for you and we still love you.
What do you think he'd say to you?
Oh, he'd probably say, cheer, bro.
Mark Inman says he feels lucky he can be so close to his brother. Others are not so lucky. At Mātātua Wharanui, officials and families gathered. The whānau of Tipini Mangi, the other guide killed in the eruption, were there wearing T-shirts to remember him. Overseas victims and their families shared stories through letters and videos.
1 year ago today, our lives and the lives of 45 others changed forever. Our deepest condolences go out to all of the others on the island that fateful day and their families who have suffered from this horrible tragedy.
From the shadow of that eruption, we have met so many kind and wonderful people and would like to thank them for all they have done to help us survive.
Our road has been long and bumpy, and we're not to the end of our journey yet. But people often ask us how we're feeling, and we tell them, we're not great, but we're grateful. To our tour guides on the day, Kelsey and Jake, your quick thinking and your decisiveness gave us a chance for survival.
I still remember the feeling of my heart sinking into my stomach when I saw Mum's name pop up on my phone. I remember the tears in my eyes when she told me a volcano had erupted and that you weren't accounted for. I will never forget the last time I heard your voice over the phone when you told me you were okay. The relief I felt, the comfort your voice gave me.
The rest of the community was across the road, looking out to sea where Whakaari is hidden by clouds. Locals and visitors say it's about remembering and honouring those whose lives are permanently changed. At the Whakatane heads, first responders came together, throwing reeds into the ocean. For many, the 1 year mark is just the beginning. Today, New Zealand has been reminded time heals, but that healing takes time. In Whakatane, for Checkpoint, Charlotte Cook.